I'm Sarah and I'm going to be walking through with you today a hand stamped card using potatoes or other found objects that you have at home. What you'll need is you will need some paper and paint and also either a potato or an apple. If you don't have any paint at home, you can easily make some yourself from pantry ingredients. It is a little bit more grainy than normal paint, but then I also will throw in some food coloring if I want to create some different colors using my paint as well too. Alright, so some options for carving your potato. I have some smaller potatoes here, so I'm just going to cut it in half, and I have some toothpicks here, and I'm going to just do a simple square shape for this one. For parents, students, maybe are working with different shapes for math, this could be a good tie-in too, to tie it with some other lessons that you're doing and learning in school. But this definitely would be a time that your parents would be helping guardian older adults just to be safe. As you can see here, the sides, when you stamp it, this top part will be what shows up onto the fabric. Second design option is, I did a heart shape too, so here I have my heart shape too. As you can see, when I stamp it, the top part will be the thing that shows up on the fabric or on the paper. Okay, so I have my workstation all set up here, and I made my own paint. So like I mentioned, if you have your own paint, that's great. If you wanted to make your own paint, you can too. So for the sake of this one, I decided to make my own, and I just mixed some food coloring in. And I have some paper here, and I just folded it into fourths here as well. You always could be creative and do different things with the paper and however you want it to look. For mine, I'm just going to do it like this, and then I think I will just stamp the outside and then let it dry, and maybe later I can always go back in and do the inside. So I'm going to grab my potato here. So you can use, an apple works as well too. I've sometimes done the apple shape as a good base for a butterfly or anything else you can think of. And then the potato is really great, stuff you have at home. And so I had a kind of smaller potato. I thought it might be great to do a shape of an egg just for spring. So I just cut mine in about a third, and I was trying to use as much of the potato as I could. So I have a few more stamps, and then I'm just going to dip it into the yellow paint here, and then stamp it on. I think I'll just do maybe one here on that side and just kind of push it down. And there's my little springtime egg. Then I will take my other potato on the other side of it. This one was a little bit bigger. And just kind of maybe do another springtime egg right there on the top. And I also decided to do a heart, so you can also experiment and do different things and shapes like that too. I'm going to use my reddish pink paint here, and going to just do that and do a nice heart on the top there. And then I can do different things with, Q-tips work great if you want to do some painting detailing on top. Even these toothpicks here work great. Do some dot details. Maybe add some blue. So just some different ideas. Let your creativity flow and do whatever you want to do in design. I have some old fabric scraps here too, so if you wanted to grab any found items from home that you're not using. So I have a lot of extra fabric scraps, so I just kind of, cut a couple of them. So I thought it was more like little confetti bits. And so if you have glitter at home, but if you don't, some little fabric bits work great. I might just try to do a line across here too. And so the paint is almost like a natural glue, so that when it dries, it'll just kind of stick on there. And I did a little star. I might just maybe do one more heart here, just for the sake of, actually as a paint. I actually do like that, so maybe I'll just use this as a paint down here. And put the star on top. Because of the salt, the paint mixture is a little bit more grainy, just so you know. It isn't super smooth as maybe a normal acrylic or tempera paint, but it works. So there's my homemade card that I'm going to do. And then it takes a little bit for it to dry, so I'm just going to set it aside, let it dry, and then I can be able to create something on the side for someone. Alright, here is the final product. I used some markers to do some additional drawing onto it as well too. And so we'd love to see your creations, share them, post them on social media, tag us. They're also a great way that you can send them to workers on the front lines like nurses or doctors or hospitals. Maybe check with them first and see if there's any way where you can send encouraging cards their way. Or also even I've seen different things with the elderly and senior centers where some places are taking free cards for the seniors and the elders in the homes there too. So just some different ideas that you can check out with your local areas and research on and reach out to, especially during this time.